Hi, I hope everyone can hear me and I hope everyone can see me. I'm honored to be able to speak and I apologize that I cannot be there in person because I definitely wanted to be there. And I wanted to be able to provide my stance and my opinion. My name's Andrea Williams, as you may know. I'm running for Florida Senate District 8, which includes Brevard County and Volusia County areas. Now, I jumped into this race because I have experience in the nonprofit field, 5 years as a management role, 8 years in the analytical crisis management role. And I saw that Florida was at crisis. America was at crisis. We have high prices, a housing crisis. We have to fight for our rights. There are concerns about the economy. The people need a crisis manager like me to step in and try to work to fix things. You need a champion for the people and not just the elite. Personally, I'm a Florida native. I went to high school in Titusville, Florida, got my bachelor's degree at UCF in psychology, went on to my master's degree in human resources development at Webster University, and parlayed that into being able to do leadership work in the nonprofit field. I support the people. I believe that the teachers deserve support. I believe that our vets deserve support. I believe nonprofits deserve support. And the minorities need someone looking out for them. The underdogs and those who are often unappreciated and displaced. We all see what's happening. We see the trends. I saw the trends on what was going on with SCOTUS. You think that they're going to stop at just Roe versus Wade? Rights are on the ballot this primary and November, so make sure you vote. They don't want to just stop on that. Look at the facts. The U.S. Republicans in the House, 157 of them voted no to contraceptives. How basic. Condoms, birth control pills, basic stuff that we thought would be uncontested, just the way that we thought Roe versus Wade was settled law. We also saw over 190 U.S. representatives strike down codifying into federal law the Right to Marriage Equality Act, which would have provided justification so that it cannot be touched, even with a SCOTUS decision, marriage between interracial couples or gay couples as well. This is stuff that people have worked hard and long for, have fought for. I mean, even Thomas Clarence would be affected by an interracial marriage, you know, dispute being brought up. But we see the GOP, we see their plan. They want to take us back 50 years. They want to take us back to a time when they're in power and they can tell us what to do. The minority, the woman, they're all controlled and they can tell us what to do. And I'm not ready to go back. I'm not ready to go back to a time when we're three-fifths of a person just because we weren't in the original Constitution. We're in the amendments. We are here. We are valid and we are Americans. Yes, we are Americans. And the power is with the people. We bestow that power on our leaders, not the other way around. So when it comes to these GOP and when it comes to voting in the coming election, make sure you vote blue up and down the ballot. Exercise your voice, which is your vote, and your vote is your power. As far as tackling the issues I talked about, how they're going to be addressed, the housing crisis and fixing the economy, something dear to my heart. I have talked with individuals who are running for the chief financial office for the state of Florida. And the best method seems to be declaring a state of emergency, a state of housing crisis, just like the same declaration you would see occur when it comes to hurricanes. This opens up policy avenues and funding avenues that are not routinely used. With this, we can fight the price gouging. If you're a homeowner, people have seen their rates doubled. We have seen people have issues with even continuing insurance or being kicked off. We see people have their insurance demand that they get a new roof. I was just talking to voters in Volusia County at Artisan Alley last night, and they were all telling me how we need to fix this country. They were complaining how they were having to check around because their rates were so high, so jacked up, and how unfair it is. It is making living unaffordable with all these inflated prices, and yet we see companies raking in massive profits. So we know it's not just because of supply chain. We know it's not just a pandemic. It's because they want the money, and they want to use that money to give it to their top administrators and CEOs, and to reinvest in buying down their stock and giving to their investors instead of helping the people when we're hurting. I believe in helping the people. I believe in looking out for the average man's wallet and fighting for the underdog, not just those with millions. When it comes to dealing with protecting our rights, this is what I want to do. This is my plan of action. I want to codify rights into the state constitution because a lot is going to come back to the state level. So I want to codify women's rights, our humans' rights, and all these rights they're going to be chipping away at when it comes to marriage, etc., and even contraceptives into the state constitution so that it cannot be challenged in the state of Florida, and that we will have that right regardless of what others do in other states or with other changes. I can't do this by myself. I have to have a large blue majority to be able to pass all of this. I have to have the right people in the right offices of governor, of the CFO. So please, please make sure you vote blue up and down the ballot so that we can get the people in there who will work for us, for all the people who are the average person, who are hurting, who are paying these inflated prices, who are worried or having fear about the changes going on in our country. I mean, this is the time to act. This year is critical, absolutely critical. And we have to fight the downturn by getting out there and voting and spreading the word. Additionally, when it comes to fixing the economy, I want to increase teachers' pay. As I said, I support teachers, but I want to do it for long-term teachers. That way we can retain the talented ones. We have a 9,000 plus teacher deficit in the state of Florida. That is outrageous. Families are worried. When I'm knocking on doors, they're worried about if they're going to have, enough teachers for their children for the school year that it's coming. It's right around the corner, and they're worried. I see the fear in their eyes. I've talked to the local leaders, and I will work hand in hand with the local leaders, especially those going for the school board, who've talked about ideas about having funding go towards that and pairing that with state funding so that we can get these additional supports and pay increases that are necessary to retain the talented teachers and caring ones and motivate those to go into the field seeing there's longevity and a future. I want to work with your local councilmen and all your local leaders to get what is needed for you. Lastly, I want to talk a little bit more about myself. I have a military family. My father served over 20 years in the Air Force. Both my brothers have served in the Army and Air Force. They're very proud of it as well, and I'm very proud of it too. And I believe in service to the people. And that is what motivates me, drives me to doing right by the people. I look towards intrinsic value of seeing the good I can do to help us all. And that's where I come from. I am not looking at this as just a purely business person or following Trumperism or not looking at this as a blame game. I am there to solve problems. So vote for me, Andrea Williams, for Florida Senate District 8. You can find information about me on my website, www.voteandreawilliams.com. If you're not in my area, you can always contribute. And the number one thing is spreading the word and making sure we get out there to vote. Remember, as my slogan all says, your voice is your vote and your vote is your power. Make sure you exercise your power in the coming election. Thank you.